course, one thing we wanted to really dig into was Tua's concussion, our quarterback, right? Bills, we got thrashed by the Bills.
The
It was
usual.
not a good game, but obviously we haven't really spoke about it because we try to keep all the sports shit on here, content.
Yeah,
You feel me? So as of today, we know that Tua wants to come back and play.
of
From
course.
him, his quote,
Of
which we
course.
probably guessed that, right?
That
We
seems like
probably
his
guessed that.
character. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's everything we've seen, especially the last 2 years. This is a totally different Tua if you haven't been hanging around, pretty much.
Yeah.
Confident leader. All the guys say he's a leader. Love to see it. But what are your thoughts on how you feel about him playing, or just the whole situation? Like, where are you at mentally?
I think it's traumatizing. As a viewer, as a player, I think it's traumatizing to see it and just to witness it and live with the fear of it happening again. It sucks. I hate it. Honestly, I do because I'm watching something that's supposed to be enjoyable, something that's supposed to bring me happiness, and I'm literally worried. I'm literally sitting there worried for this guy, for his health, for his brain. I think after this, I'm done, Tyler. I'm out. I'm done supporting Tua. I can't because I'm gonna feel guilty in 20 years when I look up and he's like a vegetable, or he may be walking super crippled, or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna feel guilty as a fan for encouraging that and supporting that. So as of now, I mean, it's still fresh on our minds. Maybe it's an emotional decision, but I think for me, like, I'll support the Dolphins, but to support Tua, to keep going back out there and that to keep happening to him, just the human in me, I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a for me, it's just a mixed emotions of
Yeah,
I want him to be there.
of
I would
course.
love for him to keep playing, but for what we've seen in it, 2 of the games were on national TV. Like that's
That's the
another
worst
big
part.
narrative of this.
Yo, and look, you got to remember, NFL has advertisers. They have Fortune 500 companies that invest to them. You think those companies want to see that? You think those companies are happy when those things happen? Of course they're not. So we got to think it's bigger than just well, like it's business too. You know what I mean? The appearance of it is business too.
Yeah, it's definitely not like it's definitely a negative mark on that side,
Yes.
obviously. But I
Yes.
think NFL thinks like Jerry Jones, any publicity is good publicity. I really believe that. But going back to what I was saying, I want him on the field. I want him to be my quarterback going forward. Even though he had a bad game in that, you have to take that out of it. Like he was playing terrible, but he made that play because of he wanted to show his team that like they're in the hole because of him and
But
he
I
wanted to make
think
a play.
I
I
think that
mean,
was part of it for sure, but I also think he just got comfortable. I think last year he was very conscious of this, and last year he didn't take no hit and he never
that's a
initiated no hit.
hey, that's a possibility. You could be
So
right
I
about
think
that.
so much time you just get comfortable and you're not cautious anymore. You're playing completely free. But that's how you want a football player to play. Like when I was talking to you the other day, I'm like, yo, imagine telling Troy Polamalu, like, yo, when you hit this guy, try not to hit him too hard. Would mess up his whole playing style because this sport is barbaric. This sport is savage. You got to play savage. You can't play a savage sport halfway. So
Hell no.
it's hard for me to tell Tua, like, yo, be cautious and don't do that because I understand why you want to do that. And I don't blame you for wanting to do that. But your body is not, it's not for that. And bro, think about this. This is one part nobody has brought up. Tua has gotten 3 to 4 concussions in the last 3 years, right?
Yeah, he got had one in Alabama too.
Okay. Imagine how many he's had since high school. How many haven't been reported?
That's
I'm
yeah.
thinking
I never thought about that.
he could at least have 10 concussions in his life by now. Easily. Easily. So when you factor that in as well, that's when shit starts to get a little spooky.
Having we both all said this, one thing that I'm most intrigued about is when we start hearing about the doctor visits, like how they're going or
Yeah.
what they said, or just
What is the
someone
advice he's getting?
not the Twitter doctors, right? You can read it, and there's some, I can show my wife, which is a nurse, and she'll be like, "Yeah, that makes sense," because they
Yeah.
talk. Half 35% of it is like doctor talk, and you're just like mumbling the words. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I just exposed that how much of an idiot I am with saying that, but let's see what the NFL says. Like, there is a possibility where the NFL says like, "We're sorry, we won't let you play," or these doctors won't pass you. Like this doctor might pass you, okay, but these four don't. Let's see how that happens. Like that, I want him to be out there, honestly, but I don't want to see him out there just for what I've grown to like him and his
Yeah.
character and his as a human being. How close I follow the Dolphins. I mean, I don't want to see him out there if that's what it is, but everything I'm hearing, he's going to be out there.
I heard well, first of all, just to like react to what you said, I think when you were like, yo, the NFL doesn't really care, I think that's true. So I don't think they would care in this case. I don't think they care if you beat up your wife. I don't think they care if you murder someone. I don't think they care if your life is on the line. DeMar Hamlin's still playing. He died on the field. So I really don't think they care. That's why it's up to him and his family. But here's another thing. I heard Ryan Clark talk about this. Them boys are already prepared to die.
I
Every
mean, that's a
Sunday
bit
when
drastic.
every no, but that's what he said.
No, I
So
know, I know, I know. I
I
get
got to take him for his word. And I believe it because you can die on that field. So you have to say, like, all right, well, you got to be ready for to die. You can't be scared of it. And I think Tua has that mentality, and I think a lot of football players have that mentality. And some don't, though. Some don't, though. You will find a special case here and there. Patrick Willis, Andrew Luck, guys that say, you know what? I ain't taking the risk. I value my life too much. This isn't everything for me. This isn't the end for me. It all depends on the individual, but I think most of them are wired in that savage, like, I could die right now, but it's fine type of mentality. That's what I think. And after hearing Ryan Clark, he really made me understand that.
you confirmed that.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
he played totally don't for those who don't know Ryan Clark was a safety for the Steelers back when they won those two Super Bowls with Ben Roethlisberger. So he was the safety that was always on the other side of Troy Polamalu. That motherfucker would throw his body at you reckless. Ryan Clark's not a big guy for football terms, but he would smack the shit out of you and sacrifice his body to lay you out. That's the type of player he was.
so having said all that about Tua, when he's back on the field, I think it'll take us both a while to kind of feel good about it. But every every move he makes outside the pocket, we're stepping on eggshells watching the screen. But you know what, Dixon? And I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'm gonna be bought back in it because that's what I'm gonna have to do. I can't hate watch my own team. I want to see this guy do well. So if he does well, there's nothing I can do but root for him. But it's gonna be, but Dixon, going forward, it's not gonna be the same. It's gonna be a lot of that quick. Like you think we're going quick now? It's gonna be quicker. It's gonna be even more quicker. But we'll get into a little bit of that game later. But we have
I think the
lot more
and
problems than Tua.
another scary part is like no hit has been a big hit. None of the
Nah,
concussions hits
no,
were a
no.
fucking crazy blow.
St-
What the one where he got slammed and his head hit
yeah,
the ground? That was violent.
that was violent.
That was violent. Every other hit was completely normal,
Yeah,
like completely routine. Fam,
yeah.
you got a concussion and sat out for 4 weeks from a routine tackle. If that ain't a fucking red flag, I don't know what is. And the fact that it was DeMar Hamlin, them football gods trying to say something.